to my channel once again. Ifanichuku and Why here, and in this video I will be showing us how to use the Tradingview app on our mobile phones, on our mobile devices. I'll be explaining the user interface and then showing us specific charts properly, and then showing us how to maneuver, utilize all the tools that are present in order to carry out various technical analysis easily. You would agree with me that if you are quite an on-the-go person, it's not very easy to move about with your laptop or your computer device and all of that, and that is why we have a mobile application for the TradingView app. So probably you're on the bus, or you know basically anywhere you are, you can easily bring out your phone and open your app and check a thing or two on your chart. So I'll be starting with the user interface, or with when you open your app, what you'd see first. So on my screen here, we have one of my watch lists. There are various watch lists. Okay, so when you click on your top left, yeah, top left, that is here, you would see all the lists I have here. There is the red list, Bitcoin pairs, crypto correlations, what I use for my crypto analysis, futures, that's crypto futures and pairs, FX, oldest charts, stock, commodities, watch list. So you can actually tweak this according to how you want your own list to be. To quickly add a list to your lists, you click on the top right, that plus sign over there, and then you type in the name. Let's say I want to create an Ifanichuku list. Okay, and when you click on create, it comes up there, as you can see over here. Then let's say I want to add Ethereum USDT. Okay, I would also want to show us something here. So when you search for a particular pair, you would see that lots of options are available. Okay, from here you can see Binance, you can see Bybit, KuCoin. You'll find that all the exchanges that trade that pair, that offers that pair, you would find them. So depending on the one you want to choose, maybe if you trade with OKCoin or whatever, you can choose them appropriately. It's also important to note that price differs across these pairs. Okay, price differs. So for instance, Ethereum USDT on Binance, the price is not exactly the same with Ethereum USDT on Binance US, or even on PEP, on Binance PEP, like what you have here. Okay, so it's important to note that if you want to use a chart to trade futures, you should actually look for the PEP chart of that particular pair. You don't use the spots chart for the futures chart. Okay, and vice versa. So that is how you create a list, and that is how you add a pair to a trading pair, okay, to the list you created. So now we will be moving to the next icon on the bottom, that is your chart. Okay, that is here. Okay, that's your chart. So here I would need to use the landscape view so that we can see things properly. Okay, if you noticed something, okay, let me quickly delete everything that all the drawings that I have here. All right, okay, so if you noticed something, we had an indicator showing before, but when I double tapped my screen, that indicator went off, and now I'm going to double tap my screen again, and you see the indicator is back, and I'm referring to this indicator, that is the relative strength index indicator, but we'll be coming back to that. Okay, so now when you want to do your technical analysis, it's important to start with your top-down analysis. Okay, starting from the highest time frame available to the lowest, to the time frame where you wish to carry out your technical analysis. Okay, so I will start with explaining all the things that we can see on this screen. I'll be starting from the left. Okay, so okay, so I'll be starting from the left. When you click here on the um, topmost left icon, you would see different, you'd see different options that are available. So this one is basically for your charts. Okay, so I have named mine Weaver here. While you're carrying out your technical analysis, it's just like how you use your computer system. Okay, so when you are editing and typing out things, at times your computer system saves it automatically for you. At times you need to control S to save manually and all of that. So that's why you can see the save layouts here, and you can see that I've set mine to auto save every 5 minutes. And then you have the sharing. When you want to share your charts, you could share it via a link or take a screenshot within the app. And then you have your alerts, and connect to a broker. For connecting to a broker, you this is those who trade forex will find this more useful, because they have certain of their brokers are available on TradingView. okay, and then you have the help center, and then the drawing panels. The drawing panels is drawings panel rather is basically every other thing you can find here, okay. So with that being said, over here you have BTC USDT pair. You have the name of the chart you're looking at, or the pair you're looking at. You have your various time frames here, okay. When I click on this arrow here, it brings out all the available time frame, okay. And this is the free plan that I'm using. You can subscribe to other premium plans that are available to get more features and all of that. But it's important to note that the basic everything you need as a beginner, as a beginning trader, or even as an average trader, is available on the free plan, okay. But once you start advancing, there are certain features you would require that you would need to subscribe to, and a premium plan, okay. So you have the minutes, the hours, the days, and a day chart, weekly charts, and 1 month chart, okay. So I'll be taking this to 1 month, because remember I mentioned top-down analysis when we commenced. I'll try to make this video as short as possible. Probably it's going to last 30 minutes thereabout. Okay, so this is the monthly chart for Bitcoin USDT perpetual futures. Now you would notice that the first monthly candlestick rather we have here was created on the 1st of September 2019. Why? Because you'd agree with me that Bitcoin started trading before September 2019. Now, what that is telling you is that Binance started trading or offered futures trading for Bitcoin on that date, and that is why the first candlestick you are seeing, started on that date. That's September 2019. Okay. So that is what that means, and let me see if there are other things. Okay, the next icon here, that is the different types of charts, okay, of how you want to see the currently we're using we're using the candles, okay. We're using the candlesticks, okay. You could use bars depending on the one you find comfortable with you. I'm used to candles, so I always use candlesticks, because that is how I learned. You could choose to use holo candles also. You could choose to use lines, okay. So when you get your app, you just go through all of this. You could choose to use rainbow depending on the one that is most suitable or preferable to you. But I'm very very used to candlesticks, okay. So I'm going to be using candlesticks here, all right. And for the compare, this is where you want to compare Bitcoin or financial instrument you're looking at with another financial instrument. So when you choose it, you would see a line that is drawn again. Okay, let me just click on LTC USDT, okay, Litecoin, okay. If I want to compare Litecoin's performance to Bitcoin, and then I click on it, and when I go back to the chart, you will see the performance. You will see that Bitcoin is currently outperforming Litecoin. This yellow line you have here is Litecoin, as we saw, okay. So I'm going to be taking that out. Taking that out. Okay. Alright. So basically when you get your app, you just go through all of this. I would explain all the important features, okay. So you have your indicators, which is very important, okay. For some people that use indicators, this is where you find your moving average, your volume, your RSI, whatever indicator you choose to use, you would find it here. Basically the indicator I use the most, or I use more often, is volume, and then RSI. But then I use them as secondary tools, okay, because I'm a pure price action guy, okay. I like to see what I want to look at the candlesticks and look at levels and see what the market is doing, okay. All right. So okay, okay, so you have your undo, that is over here. You have your undo and redo buttons, okay. And then you have your settings here, and then you have your full screen mode. So if I want to take this chart in such a way that I would see only the charts, when I click here, which is the full screen mode, you see that I just have charts here, okay. Just the charts, no tools, no nothing, just the charts, and then the time frame on that. And then to undo that, I just go back, use my back button, okay. And then you have the screenshots chat yeah, icon here that looks like a camera. So when you click on it, I personally love to use this tool, because at times maybe while writing articles and all of that, rather than taking pixel images, by pixel images I mean rather than taking screenshots and filling up my phone memory, I just copy the link. That is what I do. I click on, copy the link, and then maybe while writing the thread on Twitter or sharing stuff on my Telegram channel, or even be it in the WhatsApp community that I manage. Once you just paste the link, the chat comes up, the picture of the chat comes up. Okay, so it's a more effective way to share your chats and all of that. Okay, so because the links will always be there, and it's not even taking much of your phone's memory and all of that. Now, the last icon on the top bar is the idea icon. Now, this is where, when you click on it, this is where you get to maybe I want to share something. Maybe I've done an analysis and I want to share it on Tradingview. When I click on that idea link, it shows me, the publish idea platform, where you see the title and then what I wish to write, and then other links that are related to the ideas, and if I want to make it public or private, and then if it's an analysis or a tutorial kind of thing. Okay, and then my investment strategy. So maybe I've looked at Bitcoin, and I'm neutral, or I'm bearish and I choose short, or I'm bullish and I choose long. And the category, there are different categories that are available, and basically all other options. Okay, and certain things I'd like to tag, and then the terms and conditions icon and all of that. Okay, so that is all for the top icon. So now we will move to the top bar, rather. So now we will move to the ones on the left. That is our drawings panel. Okay, for drawings panel, I'll take each of them one after the other. Okay, I'll take each of them one after the other. So firstly, here we have your cursor. Okay, so we have the cross, the dot, the arrow, and then we have your eraser. So when you click on your cross, you have when I click here, or let me go to the daily chart. Okay, let me go to the daily chart. Click on the daily chart quickly. All right, so okay, so on the daily chart, when I click to hold, you would see an icon moving around. Okay, you'd see an icon moving around. Okay, so we have we have you can see this cross like dotted line moving around and all of that. Okay, if I change it to dots, when I click and hold, you would see it's just a dot and all of that. Then when I also click on an arrow, when I click on the chart, you would see that you don't have any of those lines appearing and all of that. And then the eraser tool, if I choose to want to erase, let's say I want to erase that moving average line, when I click on it, it disappears. When I click on this volume indicator, it disappears. Basically, you use it to take away any use it to take away anything you choose to want to erase from your chart and all of that. So I'll just return this to a cross. Okay, all right. Okay, let me take this out. So now the next thing on the drawings panel that I want to discuss is the next one we can see here. So here you have your trend line, you have your arrow, you have your ray. Basically, this is the tool you use to draw anything that has to do with lines on your chart. Okay, so when you choose your trend line, you click on your trend line, and let's say I want to draw a trend line on this chart. Okay, all right, so as you can see, I've drawn this downtrend line here. Now you could also tweak your trend lines. Okay, or you could basically tweak all the tools that you're using, to draw it properly. So I could choose to, over here you can see this icon that popped up. Here I can get to tweak the color, maybe change it to blue. I can tweak the thickness, make it thicker, or make it thinner. Okay, then the lines too, I could choose to make it dashed or dotted, depending on the one that I find preferable. Okay, so I could also choose to other options too. I could tweak, I could lock it in such a way that when I try to, while you're performing other activities and all, it doesn't move. So when I lock it, it just remains there. Okay, but when I unlock it, I could be trying to do something, and if I mistakenly touch it, you see that it now moves and all of that. So that is that for the lines drawing panel. Then here we have this is where you find your Fibonacci tools. Okay, with the popular Fibonacci retracement and all of that, all other type of Fibonacci tools, depending on what you want to depending on what you're looking for in the chart. Okay, so let's say I want to make use of the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so I want to draw from the top on a downtrend. Maybe I want to look for possible resistance when the market decides to retrace back up. Okay, so I draw um, from the top of the trend to the current bottom of the trend. So let's assume that 32.7 or 32, approximately 32,800, as we can see here, is going to be the bottom of this downtrend. So from the Fibonacci tool, what it is saying, or what it is showing us, is that we would likely face certain resistance at these other levels here at 41 400 and 132. That way until we get back to this previous all-time high, and depending, I keep going. And also too, there's possibility that, because there are also other tools below, okay, there's a possibility that we could also get to this low, 22,900 and all of that. So these are all possibilities. Technical analysis is always subjective, okay. It's subjective to the mind of the trader. It's subjective to um, um, it's subjective to basically what the person has in mind. And this will take me to the next icon, to the next drawing panel, that's drawing panel 2 here, and that is where you have the brush, highlighter, rectangle, and all of that. So I'll quickly want to use the brush tool to show you guys something. So I could use this to simulate price movement, okay. As you can see, I could use this to draw anything. I could also tweak the color here, as I showed you guys earlier. I could tweak the thickness and all of that, okay. So that is what the brush tool is all about. Now if you notice, the brush tool is currently highlighted blue, okay. So if I don't undo it or take it back to my cursor, if I try to touch the chart, I will keep having um, um, the brush tool active. So if I touch the chart, I will keep seeing the brush tool working, all of that. So how to undo that is that you go back to your cursor and you choose anyone you were using previously, okay. Okay, let me choose the erase tool so that I can quickly take out all the things that I've drawn previously, starting with the Fibonacci retracement tool, and then all of these drawings that I have here. Then I go back and choose my cursor, okay. So it's going to take me to the next tool, which is the highlighter tool, okay. So I don't usually use this. If you notice, all the tools that I usually use, I've favorited them, I've started them. That's why you can see this yellow, these ones with yellow stars and all of that, and we'll get to how to do that soon. So but when you click on the highlighter tool, you can use it to depending on what you want to do, okay. That's one thing I love about the Tradingview application. You could basically, anything you want to do with your charts, you can, okay. So I would show you. The next is the rectangle tool, okay. I use this one in drawing my zones, okay. I use this one in drawing my zones. So basically I'm a supply and demand trader, and I love to draw my zones using the rectangle tool, okay. I don't just like to use lines and all of that. So when I click on my rectangle tool, okay, let me change that to cross so that I can see my cursor. So when I click on my rectangle tool and I move it to the open and low of this particular candlestick, okay, so you see you can also increase or decrease the size of your chart depending on what you're doing at the moment. So you see how I've used the rectangle tool to draw this particular level here, okay, which is one of the level that we are looking at in the short term. This is going to take me to another tool in this same tool panel, okay, which is the path tool. So probably we could see Bitcoin move like this. The tool now that I'm using is the path tool, okay. You use it to draw paths, okay, and then probably bounce back, okay. So depending on what we want to see, probably Bitcoin could have this price action, okay. So these are, you could use the path tool to draw simulations of what you are speculating Bitcoin could do in the short term, okay. So that is for the that is for the path tool. I'll take that out, and then I'll also delete this. Also, you could also tweak, when you click on a particular tool that you have used, you could tweak it, okay. So for this particular rectangle tool, you could tweak the color, you could actually add text to it, okay. So when I click on this T, I could change the color of the text, but if I want to add a text, I can click here, and okay, I'll need to take this higher so that I see all and click on settings, and then I click on text, and then I could write basically anything here. If I write good morning, okay, and then when I come to this and I increase the size, you can see it's showing good morning. So basically maybe you could, since this is a demand zone I drew here, I could basically write that as maybe a daily demand zone, because I'm currently doing this analysis on the daily chart, okay. So that is for that, okay. The next we have is your text tool, okay. So this is what you use and write for writing text on the charts, okay. Depending on what you choose to, you just you could go through these. You have your price label, price notes, while going through yours, you have your arrow mark up, arrow mark down, and all of that. So basically when you click on any of this, let's say I clicked on the arrow mark up here, just to show me that last time price got here, price went up, okay. And then I could also, let me show you what the arrow mark down looks like. So I could also place this here, okay. So to remind me that last time price got here, price went down. So just keep tweaking according to how you want to what you want to see and all of that. I'm going to take those off the chart, and then here we have your patterns. Okay, we have your patterns. Okay, have your patterns. You can see here have your triangle pattern, head and shoulders, X, A, B, C, D, and all of that, Elliott wave and all of that. Okay, so if you use either of these while carrying out your technical analysis, you already have them available here as an automatic tool. So when you just click on them, you use them accordingly. Okay, also here, very important tool here. Okay, this is where you find your long position, your short position, date range, time range, and a whole lot of other tools. So let's say I want to take a long position from somewhere here. Let's say I want to take a long position from this price. Let's say I want to long BTC. Okay, from 31494. So why I love this tool is that it automatically calculates my risks to reward for me. Okay, it automatically calculates my risks to reward for me. So, and I want to set my stop loss at let's say just below that zone, let's say at 27.7. You to tweak your tools, you can easily double tap it to tweak it. So I'm going to change this to 27,700. Okay, all right. So let's say I want to take a long position. I want to buy. It could be long position for buying, short position for selling, all of that. With this now, if I set a buy order at 31,494 with a stop loss at 27.7, what this is showing me is that if my stop loss hits, I'm going to lose 12% of the capital, or of my position rather, okay, or the capital I used in taking that position. And then if my target, which is 52,168, as you can see on this part of the chart, on the left, on the price, okay, it's if it hits 52,168, you would see that I would be making 65 percent of my trade, okay, of that particular position. Now if you look closely, you would see the risk to reward here ratio, okay, which is 5.45, which is quite a good risk to reward, showing you that I am risking one portion of my position to make 5.45. Okay, so it's a ratio 1:5.45, which is quite good. That is if the trade ends in profitability for me, of course. Okay, so that is for the long position too. The short position too does the vice versa of that. And let me show us other tools quickly. Okay, shows other tools on that same tool panel. So here you have your date range, you have your price range. Let me show you the date range quickly. So if I want to check Bitcoin's price action from February 4th of last year till today, okay, that is thereabout, that is roughly 1 year 365 days. Okay, so this is the price action, so it shows you date range. Let me also show you the price range too. Okay, price range of let's say from here, from July last year to the top. Okay, it's showing us that Bitcoin has moved 136% from the low of this point where I started drawing to the high of this point where I started drawing. Okay, so that is for that. Okay, let me see, is there any other thing we can explain here? Okay, so let me show us quickly. These are basically emojis you can place on your chart, depending on what you what you feel like expressing and all of that. Okay, so depending, you could use any, there are lots of emojis available here. You could use, okay, I could choose to use these face icons here. Let me say place this one here, because the last time we got here, that was when the market, and I could tweak the size also, that's when the market started the bear trend, and so I could place that sad face there, and then all of that. Okay, so a very wonderful tool I love to use, that's the measurement tool. Okay, so you use this to measure the movement in price. Okay, so if I take it from here to here, it shows you both how long and it shows you how long and how tall, if I can use that. Okay, so let me use it again. So if I want to check how long it took Bitcoin to move from here 19th July to this top, okay, to here November 11th. Okay, it's showing me that between 19th July and November 11th, Bitcoin did a 129% increase, and it also took Bitcoin 114 days to make that price movement, and then it's also showing me the volume that was traded within that range. So basically, this measurement tool it adds both the date range and the price range, so it's like a two-in-one tool. Okay, and then the next one you have here is your magnification tool. So when I click on my magnification and I click on a particular part of the chart, it's you can see how that part got bolder. Okay, you can see how that part got bolder. So that is what you use the magnification tool for. Okay, so if I want to see, if I click on it again and I want to see, let's say here, and I click on that part, you see it makes it bolder. The same thing too for the if I want to reduce the size of the chart, so I can click there. If I want to increase, I can click here and then click on the chart, and it makes it bolder. Okay, so that is for that. The magnetic tool, that is this one with magnetic mode on. So you can see this notification here, this prompt showing you that drawing anchors will be snapped to the closest open, high, low, and all of that. So what this tool is quite good, especially if you've not mastered how to draw your lines and all of that. So what that magnetic tool is showing me is that when I want to draw, let's say a trend line, for instance, it is going to, you can see how the cursor is it's showing this magnetic attraction towards the high or the low of a particular candlestick. Okay, if you notice, as I move, it's just showing this magnetic pull attraction towards the open or the low, depending on where I put it. If I take it off, now let me show you. If I take it off, you can see that I can move freely. Do you notice? You can see that I move freely and all of that. Okay, I can just take it anyway. But if I take it, if I put it on, where if I try to move, you see how I especially when I get close to the candles, you see how it just the candlestick pulls it. So that is what you use that for, especially when you want to draw your lines. And but I don't use it anyway. I don't use it because I know how to tweak the chart and all of that. So this is also, the next one is your lock tool. So this is what you use when, let's say, you draw let's say you have a particular tool on and you just want to keep using that tool. Okay, so for instance, I have this trend line tool on, and then I have locked it. Locking it now means I can only use the trend line tool. So let's say if I use a trend line tool here and stop, I don't need to I see it continues. You see, if I click it again, I have another trend line. If I click it again, I have another trend line. So you use it when you want to continually use a particular tool at a point in time. And if I want to stop that, I just quickly take it off being active. Okay, and so that is you see, when I now try to click again, it doesn't come up and all of that. So I'm going to take all of those from the charts. Okay, then the next one is lock. So if I want to lock my chart, like I want to, maybe I've made drawings and all of that, and I want to lock everything without maybe mistakenly deleting it, I use the lock chart. And then the hide tool too also. Let's say, so for this I'll need to draw some things so that we see what it looks like. Okay, let me first of all draw this. And then so if I want to hide this trend line that I've drawn, okay, I could easily click here and it will take off every indicator or trend that I have on the chart. When I take it off, what I've drawn comes back and all of that. Okay, so that's for that. And the next, you've seen me use this quite often, the delete tool. Okay, that is represented by a bin icon. Okay, so when you click on the delete, it shows you options to remove drawings or remove indicators or remove drawings and indicators. So depending on what you want to use, you can choose appropriately. So the next thing we have is your favorite tool panel. That is this. So when I click on my favorite tool panel, you can see it's up here. Okay, so this is showing you a combination of all the tools that I have favorited, because these are the tools I use frequently. Okay, although I usually use this when I'm using my laptop to analyze the charts and all of that. Okay, so it makes it in such a way that all your favorite tools are readily available. So instead of going through here and clicking this and taking this and clicking this, you just have everything on the chart. So if I want to use, for instance, say my rectangle tool, I just click here and the rectangle tool comes up and I draw my rectangle. And if I want to say use my path tool, I click here and then I can use my path tool. You see how easy it makes the whole thing look. Okay, and then which other tool? If I want to use my line tool, I could click horizontal line. I could click here and probably draw this line here, and then you have that line there. If I want to use, basically, if I want to use which other one? Okay, let me explain a regression tool, because I noticed I'd not explained that one. So if I click here and draw it down here, so a regression tool is basically, it shows you, it creates a range for you automatically. You use it by drawing from the start of a trend or any so for instance, we have this downtrend. Okay, and I drew that regression tool by starting, this is the icon here, this one here. Okay, by drawing from the start of the trend to the bottom, so you see how it moves within the trend. Okay, so depending on the style of technical analysis you choose to use, there are lots of options that you can draw here. Okay, so if I that you can use rather. So if I click back on the favorite icon, it goes off, and then I'm going to be using the delete tool to take off all the drawings, and see how it deletes everything automatically. Okay, so that is for that. What else do we have here? Okay, you also have your object tree. Okay, so your object tree, this is where you would see all the tools, that is all the indicators and drawings that you have. Okay, you can actually tweak all of them from here. So currently the only tools I have here at the moment is the candle, the only indicator, okay, and joints I have here is the candlestick, which is this one, and then I could see, look at that eye icon. So when I click on it, you notice that my candlestick disappears. When I click open, you see, click it on again, okay, you see it open and all of that. And then I also have my RSI, okay. So that is for that, okay. So when I double tap, my RSI comes on and all of that. So let me also show you how to, add indicators, okay. So if I want to, if you notice here, you can see these are my favorite indicators, okay. So volume, you see volume come back into the chart, okay. So you see volume back into the chart. So yeah, that is I think that's everything you need to know as a beginning trader, okay. So the more you use your app, that's the mobile app, the easier or the more acquainted you get with, maneuvering and moving over tools, and the more you become better, okay. So I hope this video would have given you, more insight and knowledge on how to use the mobile application of the Tradingview app. With that being said, I'll be ending the video here. If you have comments or questions, you can leave it in the comment section, or you can contact me privately, okay. All right, with that being said, enjoy your day, have a very good day, and then keep trading properly, okay. Manage your risk and then keep trading properly.